All right, I'm getting ready to put my top in. Extension table, I should say. I've got this set up here, these bridge pieces to help me to keep it from dropping through. And this being a 2x2 angle iron in the back, or on the back of my saw, it's 1 inch shorter than this one, so I had to compensate for that. I've got spacer blocks in here, and then this one is dropped about 3/4 of an inch because of the height of my table. So let me get this into position. Let's see how this goes here. It's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to be a little bit low, which is okay. There we go. All right. That looks pretty slick. And yes, it is a little low. So what I'm going to do is use these extrusions to use them as my straight edge and help bring it up and level it. Let's get this one out here. I had my window open when I was doing this contact cement work. There's a fly around, buzzing around. He got in, and I hope he enjoys the last remaining minutes of his life here, because he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to end it for him. All right, that's that. Now, those have to stay in place. This is what you got to do when you're working by yourself. I'm going to get a clamp and pull this up. I've got to pull it up there as well. Extend that. Okay. Well, you can see what I got in mind here. I'm going to pull it tight to the saw. And then I'm just going to level it up. So let me get one more clamp on it. Alright, let me just do some jacking around with this and get it situated, and I'll come back. Alright, after some jacking around, I finally got it. And you can see I've got a clamp. This clamp is on the center rib as well as that one. This one is out here right on the edge. These two are right on my table saw extension wing, and then I've got a clamp back here to the other wing. So I look at it, and it's very, I mean, it's as close as I can get it. This is, you got to remember now, this wing has got a little dip in it right here. So I'm a little, just a hair high right there. I'm flush back here, and I'm flush right here. But there's nothing I can really do about that. I mean, it's so much better than it was before. I just want to make sure that I drill these holes and maintain this. So I've got this level going across here, and it's consistent, which is good. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to drill my holes and bolt it, and that's going to be that. So we'll come back after I get everything bolted and get the clamps off of it. Alright, clamps are off. The drilling is done. And it looks good. I'm happy. Again, you know, I got this couple little spots where it's high and low, but nothing I can do about it. That's the way that extension table is. But it's definitely not well below it like it was before. And I'm nice and level across, so that's good. That's really good. All right, time to get my rail, my guide rail on, so I can start to get to work on the router box. And that'll be my next thing to do, would be to cut that hole in there. So, okay, well, thanks for sticking around, and when we come back, I think the next operation I'll show you is how I'm going to route that insert in there. And then it's just a matter of putting things back together. All right, I'm setting up to make my cut here, or make my cut, yes, but my jig too, to route this opening. So I got my fence here, and it's locked down, and it's 3 inches. This side is 3 inches from the edge of my table saw. And if you're going to do this, what you want to do is use your plywood frame all from the same piece, so that you have consistent thickness all the way around. So I've got these pieces with double stick tape on them here. They're all from one stick. This was all one long piece at one time. And I'm going to put down the first piece here, and then I can move this fence out of the way, and you can see what I'm doing. So here's my first piece. I'm going to butt it up against the back, to the fence, and to the back of my router lift base here. Press that down. Make sure I like it. That looks good. Okay. So now from here on, it's just a matter of overlapping one piece to the next, I'm pressing it up against the base here and making sure that that thing doesn't move right now. Actually, I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to do this side first. So I have something to press against. There. Now I want this piece. And that's the reason I'm using tape all along the edge here too, so that I have a consistent height all the way along. Okay, that's good. Now this piece. And then the last. It's exactly backwards. I think I was going to go from the other direction. Come on here. There we go. That's nice and level. Nice and flush, I should say. That will be my opening right there. So I got another piece here. This is the piece that I'm using to cut my box, or to make my box out of. And it's from this same piece of plywood. So if I need any extra support out here, I can put this out here as like an outrigger, and just move it around to whichever side I'm on, and then make my opening. Or something like that. So I'll get my pattern routing bit, I'll make my cut, and set my depth of cut to slightly more than this. I've got these leveling set screws on here. I think I might try something different this time. I might just try and go right to this thickness first and see if I can get it to set flush, and then I don't have to use those set screws. And that'd be nice. So let me get the router set up and we'll come back and route this opening. Okay, I've decided to use a router edge bit guide here and a 1/4 inch bit to establish my outside line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and plunge like a drill bit all the way through in the 4 corners. Then I'm going to make a light pass all the way around and use that inside edge for my jigsaw blade to follow. And then I'll come back. Let's see if I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, I should be able to do that. And then I'll come back with my pattern bit and follow around the edge to establish my lip. So with a 1/4 inch bit and a 1 inch diameter guide, that's going to give me a 5/8 inch wide lip by the time I get done, if I'm careful enough in my jigsawing. It'll probably actually be a little smaller than that because of the width of the jigsaw blade, but we'll see how it works out here. I want this one. Okay, I'm getting ready to make my final pass here. I checked the thickness of my plate, and it's exactly 3/8 of an inch. 3/8, let me see, I'm going to double check it here. Yeah, 3/875. I'm able to check right in the corner here. There's a little bit of my top exposed, and I come up with 3.325. Yeah, 3.325. And this corner, 3.435. So I'm going to take about 40 thousandths, which according to my chart is just a little bit over a 32nd of an inch, and I'm going to trust my indicator here. I've got a micro adjust on my router. I'm going to dial it down 1/32 of an inch, so I'm going to be a little bit short. Oh, I gotta loosen my depth stop, that would help. Okay, that's 1/32. Let's make this pass and see where we're at. You can see this dust collector's not doing me a lot of good, but one other change I forgot to mention is that instead of dropping my bit out, there was going to be too much exposed. I didn't want that thing to walk out of the collet. So I changed out my plywood from 3/4 inch to half. Or it might even be 3/8 inch plywood here, I don't know what. But alright, let's see where we're at here. We're shooting for 3.875. That's 3.660. Three 3.757. $3.665, so 360. I need to, so 3/32, it was pretty close. I need to go 90 thousandths, so I'm just going to go just a hair in between, a 128th of an inch, I guess we'll call it. Measure again. 375. 375. 372. 370. I'm going to try this one this way. 370. 375. Wow, that is so close. Well, I do have the ability to micro adjust this up. I'm going to try one more pass. That's it. Baby. I gotta get something underneath that. Maybe I used a little too much tape. I have to clean this off with some paint thinner. My goodness. Work smarter, you know what they say? All right, last one. Boy, that is just below the surface. That's what I was looking for. I can bump it up just a little bit and I'll be good. Alright, I'm going to clean off this residue and then tomorrow's another day.